Today is Tuesday, January the 19th. I am your host, Casey Phoenix, and this is my daily thought. And I don't know why, but it didn't dawn on me until like probably a fourth of the way through the day, I guess you could say, that it was Tuesday. It dawned on me when I was moving some stuff around in my kitchen, some water, because I have bottled water. And I moved it around because I was thinking about, oh, I have to go to the grocery store and get my water. And I was like, oh, well, I have to have enough to get me through 5 days. And while I was doing that, I was like, oh, wait a second, today's Tuesday. I was thinking it was Monday. Yesterday was Monday, which was a holiday, federal holiday, Martin Luther King Day, which I hope everyone had a wonderful and safe Martin Luther King Day weekend and made it back home safely or are in the process of making it back home safely. I'm getting my wits about me right now. A little bit before I started recording, I was in this kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It isn't mellow, it isn't depressed. I was just low energy for a moment before I had started this, like a little bit before I had started this, probably like maybe an hour, 30 minutes to an hour before I started recording. And I was just feeling, eh. But now it seems like my energy is pepping up a little bit. Maybe it's because I was digesting my food when I ate lunch at 2. I don't know. But I decided to do this daily thought because I brought this up in one of my daily thoughts when I said, what was the title of that daily thought? I've done so many. I think it was like, why do we sabotage good relationships or something like that, to that effect? And you can go through the daily thoughts and look it up and see what I'm talking about. But then actually, I'm literally right next to my laptop. What was it? Something, yeah. Why do we self-sabotage good relationships? It was my daily thought number or volume 82. That was on December the 8th when I recorded it. I was like, why do we self-sabotage good relationships? But with this daily thought, this is, when do you break up? When do you break up? And I was thinking about this song. I don't know if anybody's seen this play. It's called Medea's Family Reunion. And there's this amazing song on there. And I brought up this song before. It was the artist who sang it was Deatra Hicks. And she did such an amazing job. And it's How Much Can One Heart Take? And I think that's sort of where it's at when it comes to when to break up. How much can the heart take on that? Now, removing the relationships I didn't self-sabotage. For the ones that it was just, oh, this isn't going to work. I was usually the person who left the relationship. It's rare that someone's left me. Like percentage wise, I probably say 95% of the time, I'm the one who's left all the time. And 5%, they left me. But for the most part, the ones that I didn't self-sabotage, where I wasn't ready to deal with some issues. Some, it was a thing of where I was thinking long term and I was like, is this really gonna go the distance? And when I felt like it wasn't, when I was dating someone, and I'm not talking about I'm not necessarily talking about we're married, or we're this, or we're that, or living together, or what have you. I'm just talking about dating, which for dating, I I believe in monogamous dating. That's just me. I believe in monogamy, period. I'm not into sharing. And if you follow my show, if you follow my podcast, you know I don't do the sharing thing at all. I do not like to share because I'm not about that life. And that isn't a judgment on those who are fine with it or who has open dating, open relationships, open whatever. That's not a judgment on you. You're grown. You can do what you want to do. I'm talking about for me as an individual personally. I'm not for the sharing. It's just I prefer one-on-one. And when I felt like I was more than likely towards stepping out, meaning I was more, I don't want to say open, I guess, not susceptible. What's the word? I'll just say I was more likely to go down the path of cheating. That's when I'm like, okay, I need to end this because I don't want to cheat on someone. So that's when I would break up and do that. Because when you're with someone, if you're really, really into them, and you guys, you have to overlook, for those who ever watch this video, which it seems that, as I've always said, I have more listeners than watchers, and that's fine. I'm working on the marketing part of the watching thing, but right now I'm toying with my shoulder because it's itching. But when it comes to the relationship and doing things, and I've lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought, but I know what ballpark I'm in. I'm not out of the ballpark yet. I'm still in the ballpark. But when it comes to the relationship of me being okay, now I'm fully back. All right, I'm not out in left field. I'm fully back. I'm back at second base. Okay. When it comes to relationship, I feel that if you're really into someone, you don't think about cheating, if that makes sense. Where if you're just so captured by your emotions, your love, or whatever you want to call it, depending on what you're going through, because just because you're dating someone doesn't necessarily mean you love them. Love can be something that grows over time. But whatever, you're just so captured by that individual emotionally that you don't even think about it, regardless of what is thrown at you. Because I've dated people and I've been in relationships with people, and I've had others approach me while I'm in a relationship or while I'm dating someone. And the other individual who's approaching me, if going by looks or whatever, in some situations, they look better than the person I was with. And then it could be other things where it's material stuff, where they have more materially than the person that I'm with, and all of that. However, if I'm with you, then I'm with you. That's how my mindset works. If I'm not in that zone, then that's when I feel it's time to break up. If I'm not in that zone. Because I'll give you an example, because I talk about my ex a lot. The ex that we've been on and off for years, but it's pretty much over, but we're friends. Like we literally just talked by text earlier today. And when I was with him, and my ex is cute, he's adorable. He's Chinese and Vietnamese, and he's really, really cute. But when I was with him, I was with him. And other guys could have approached me and been like, hey, what's up? And I just be like, no. And it wouldn't matter who it would be. It could literally be anyone. It could be my dream of physical. It could be a celebrity. I'll just say Idris Elba, because Idris Elba is, yes, thank you. But, it could be that. And I would still say no. Because my heart is caught up in someone else. So I would be like, oh, yeah, this person's sexy, or this person, it'd be nice if I was single, but at the same time, it'd be like, whatever, if that makes sense. It's one of those things like, well, if I was single, but it wouldn't be, it was never something when people approached me that I really entertained that much. I just took it, as a compliment and took it in stride. But it was something where I didn't pay it that much attention because my heart was caught up in someone else. If I felt that if such and such approached me and I'm actually entertaining the thought, then I may consider breaking up. And I'm talking about me personally. Then I may consider breaking up. Like, okay, why am I even considering this? Why am I considering something that will more than likely be short term? It'll just be for the moment. It's not long term. And it's mostly wrapped up in physical. Because if I look at things where if the relationship can't get past physical, now don't get me wrong, physical plays a role in relationships, because it is what it is. We're human. And for me, I got my needs. So yeah, physical plays a role in my relationships. However, it isn't something where I have to speak about me, where it would have to always be present. There has to be something more. And for me and my ex, even though the physical was there was still something more for me. I can't speak for him, but for me, there was something more. And as I mentioned before, another thing I look at is how would I do when I'm talking about when I did the episode talking about being in love. I know I'm in love when. One of the things is I know I'm in love where if I can still see myself with you if you're incapacitated, if you can no longer do anything, if you can't take care of yourself anymore physically, would I still want to be with you? So, and that could be one thing where you weigh that and you're like, oh no, I can't do that. If you know that you can't do that, that might be a sign that, oh, maybe I should consider not being with this person. Or maybe I should let this person know that, hey, I'm on this ride with you. I just can't guarantee that it's going to be for the long haul, which when it's all said and done, nothing can really be guaranteed. Nothing in life can be really guaranteed. However, you kind of know where your heart stands on things. I was talking to someone else who is very dear to me, and I had asked the individual, because they were in a relationship for quite a few years. And I asked the individual, I was like, well, not to be on low frequency energy, but I'm curious, what happened? Because that was a while to be with someone, and then you just were like, it's over. And then that individual said their partner cheated. And after their partner cheated, they could no longer trust their partner. So they decided to break up. And that individual could have just stuck it out and been like, hey, hopefully they'll change and maybe this was the last time or whatever. But they decided to just not, they didn't want to deal with the trust issues. They came to the conclusion that having their peace of mind meant more to them than having a relationship. Again, how much can one heart take? You could add to that, how much can one mind take? Because that messes with your mind too, where you already have someone who may have stepped out on you, whether you be male or female. And anytime they're not there with you and they're out and they're saying, hey, I got to run out to the grocery store. Hey, I got to do this. Hey, I got to do that. And they're not there with you. And in your mind, you're like all 9 of swords or 8 of swords. For those of you who follow my tarot card readings, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, you're just like, wait, what? I wonder what they're doing. What's happening? What's going on? And everything. Some people don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with the stress and stuff. So they're just like, hey, let's just call it off. Some people, they get into a relationship with someone or start dating someone, and then they grow into 2 different people. Or one person grows into a different person, where the person that they were dating when the person was 29, a few years went by, and now the person's 34. And they're like, this is a different person. This isn't the person I fell for. This person used to do this, but they don't do that anymore. And vice versa. They didn't do that, and now they're doing this. So, yeah, it's like you have to weigh things on when to break up. And this is more, I don't want to say this is a therapy sesh, because I've got to the point where I know what I want, I know what I don't want, I know what I can deal with, I know when I can deal with it, and I know how to deal with certain things for that. In which we got some of that out with the therapy sesh on what I was talking about earlier. Why do we self-sabotage good relationships? But as I mentioned before, with my situation that happened, it taught me I learned how to respect the power of love because of everything that had happened. And that was added to my arsenal of life experiences when dealing with romance and other things. Now, am I the ideal romantic partner? I wouldn't say that. I will say that I'm a lot more conscious of some things than I used to be. But that's where growth comes in. And as I always say, comfort and growth are not friends. So yeah, comfort and growth are not friends. But and as uncomfortable as it was, I grew on a romantic level, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, on a mental level, and so on and so forth. And throughout that growth, I learned personally for me when I would want to break something off. I will say it would be a lot more difficult based off of my experiences now for me to just up and break something off versus the old me. The old me would be quicker to do it. But this version of me wouldn't be as quick to do it because I would honestly want to work through it to figure out what's the deal. Can this be salvaged? Is there a way where it's not looking like there's a future that we can alter the course a little bit, change some things around, and make sure that the relationship can go the distance versus just being like, oh, this is too hard, or oh, I'm not feeling this way anymore, yada, yada, yada. Let me exit stage left type thing. So yeah. But knowing when to break up, when do you break up? That's always going to be something that is an individual choice. And after you make the choice, that's something that you'll always have to live with. And it may be in your mind sometimes after you break up, especially if you're the one doing the breaking up, where you're like, well, did I make the right choice? Should I have walked away? So it's something to think about. But I always say this too, one thing I've learned, consider pausing for a few seconds before you do anything in life. And it was so weird because something happened to me today. I had seen something that was written and I was about to say something. I was going to get really, 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 really brand new. And then I paused for a second. I was like, you know what? Let me wait. Let's see how this plays out. I want to get a few more pieces on the board here before I just up and make a move. So yeah, and I'm glad I did because all's well that ends well. Can't really go into it today. One day I'll tell you, but it's not something I can really go into today. But yeah, when do you break up? That's my daily thought. There isn't a correct answer. There isn't a right answer because everyone is an individual and everyone's relationship is different. No one knows what's going on in a relationship except the two people in the relationship. The two people can tell their friends, their relatives, their coworkers, their whoever. But regardless of what information they put out, the only two people that actually know what's going on in the relationship are the two people. In everyone's relationship is different. And it's different times too, because again, we're all individuals. So you have two individuals in one relationship. So that's different times two when it comes to a relationship. So for one person, they might need to break up right away. For another person, they might be able to fix it. I'm just bringing this stuff up during my daily thought to make you think. To make you think before you decide you want to break up. Or maybe you've already thought it through time and time again and you're like, you know what? Nah, this is it. I'm going to have to go ahead and let this relationship go. And if you have weighed out all the pros and cons and the options and everything else, and you feel that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. I know one person that was married for over 20 years and got divorced. That individual was like, yeah, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not wearing the good face anymore. Because some people do that in marriages. They'll be the good husband or the good wife and wear the good face where everything is fine. But behind closed doors, it's a different story. And that individual that decided to get divorced after more than 20 years, they were just like, I'm not doing it anymore. But for someone else, because everyone's different, who would have been put under the same circumstances, that individual might have said, you know what, I'm out. And it might not have even been a year. When do you break up? How much can one heart take? How much can one mind take? Once it's all said and done, the choice is yours. You're the only one who can make the choice. I can't make it for you. And no one else can make it for you unless they leave you. But yeah, the choice is yours. So that's all I got. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. Podcast is on Anchor, which is the main platform. Spotify, Google Play, Apple, iHeartRadio, Pandora. Also, Facebook.com/KIRWKC. Swing by the page, give a like. Twitter, KIRWKC. Instagram, KIRWKC. Also, the episodes are uploaded to IGTV. If you're watching this on YouTube or Daily Motion, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, followed by the notification bell for YouTube. That will let you know when I upload new videos. And also, I created a Cash App for the Keeping It Real with KC show, which is the $ KIRWKC. The reason I created that is because it is a possibility that I may be doing individual tarot card readings. I was kind of against it, but now that I'm sort of into the feeling, picking up things and doing it and enjoying it, I will more than likely be doing that as well. So be on the lookout for that. And as I said before, this weekend is going to be a sports weekend. I will do one or two sports stories. I'll try to do 2 sports stories. And then the following weekend is when I will do the tarot card readings for all 12 signs is what I'm looking to do. Keeping my fingers crossed that I can get through all of them. So yeah, that's all I have. Thank you everyone who's been supporting the podcast. I sincerely appreciate it. Until next time, be blessed.